Spring officially arrived earlier this weekend. One of the area's biggest springtime events arrives later this morning.
It's the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival at the Wooden Shoe Tulip Farm in Woodburn, and that is where we find Drew Carney. He's spending his Friday morning. Drew, it's a big year for the festival. We're talking 40 years this year.
Yes. Good morning, China. Good morning, Christine. 40th annual Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, and it kicks off today, gang. That's why we're out here on this Friday morning to give you the sneak peek before the big festival actually begins. And let's start with the details because it opens up today. It runs through May the 5th, so plenty of opportunities to check out this year's event. If you want more information, woodenshoe.com is the place to go. All that information on your screen. The biggest thing I can tell you this morning, they are still, like they have in the past few years, doing this buy tickets in advance early. You got to go online, you have to buy your tickets, and then you come out here and enjoy all the flowers at this year's festival. Having said all that, let me bring in our first guest. You know, I've been coming out here for years. I was trying to do the math in my head, Emily. Yeah. I think we've been out here for 20 years now, covering this event for the Sunrise Show. And usually I would talk to Emily's mom, Barb. I was actually happy this year that Barb said, you know what? I'm not going to take the early bullet. I'm going to give it to Emily. So Emily's out here early with us in the dark. But what's impressive, on March the 22nd, day one of the festival, you already have all this color.
We do.
So I want to ask you why that happened this year and what does it mean for the event moving forward?
Absolutely. So 70-degree heat pushes these bad boys. So of course, a little bit of heat is going to make them bloom faster. We can't control the weather. So we have about 30 to 40% of the field opening weekend in color, which is kind of unheard of. I will say that it's not the earliest season we've ever seen, but compared to last year, it's way ahead.
We're showing some photos on the TV screen right now as well. I pulled these from your Instagram page just from the last couple of days because obviously the flowers look even better when the sun is up than they do here in the dark. Now, I don't want to be too critical of these flowers, so I'll keep this next comment kind of low. But I looked at these flowers and said, the color's awesome, but they seem rather short. They seem very close to the ground. Do they still grow even after they bloom?
They do. So this is a shorter variety. This is Candy Prince.
Okay.
So it usually is only a 12 to 14 inch flower anyways, but it does grow as the flower progresses. With the heat, it really forced a lot of these flowers open and not a lot of length. So we have some that are little itty bitty, but as the weather cools down a little bit, the stems will elongate and they will get taller.
And I'll say it again, I said it at the beginning, but I know this is the message you really want to impress upon people. You do need to buy your tickets for this year's event in advance online, woodenshoe.com. Absolutely. Is there anything else to that ticket buying deal that we need to mention?
It is date and time specific, so you can purchase them up to the day of, but they do sell out. So be cautious, look at our page, and make your best decision.
Okay, gang, we're going to wrap it up for now. There is plenty still to do here. We're going to have a little food a little bit later. We may take a tethered balloon ride this morning because they're doing those on the daily here at the Wooden Shoe Tulip Farm.
Welcome back. One of the biggest annual events anywhere in Oregon returns today and will run every day now through the beginning of May. What the heck?
No, we were supposed to talk about flowers here, but we're going to talk about Drew's face and some donuts because the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival in Woodburn. How is this coming together, Drew? What are we doing here?
Well, we're pairing flowers with the food this morning. Yes, China, Christine, good morning once again. We are live out here at the farm. You know, a lot of people say, geez, you're working TV. That must be a cush job. I say it's not. We get our hands dirty on this job every single day. Case in point, work in the fields this morning. Yes, the tulip fields, which are alive and well on this Friday, March 22nd, day number one of the 40th annual Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Lots of color behind us. A colorful character next to me. Emily Iverson, pick any two varieties of wine you like.
Absolutely.
And you can start to pour this morning because yes, they do make a little wine here at the Wooden Shoe Tulip Farm as well. So before we get into the wine and the donuts, the quick details on the festival itself, it is every day, now through May the 5th, as Christine just mentioned. The thing we need to keep pointing out, most important detail of the morning, you have to buy your tickets in advance online. We're showing you that website, woodenshoe.com. That's where you get your tickets. All right, Emily, you do things throughout the year besides just growing the tulips. Other things are growing on the farm. Talk about how wine became a part of the Wooden Shoe picture.
Absolutely. So my cousin, when he came back to the farm in 2010, said, I want to plant a vineyard. Most Oregonians are like that, and they like wine. So we planted about 10 acres of wine grapes, table and wine, and since then we have about 13 different wines to offer.
Here's how we're going to do a little wine and donut pairing. You pour 2 glasses of 2 of your varieties. I'm going to pick out some of the donuts provided by a food vendor who is here, I think, every single day of the festival. Deliciosa Donuts is what they're called. They've got these apple cider donuts, all these different varieties, including the maple bacon. So while you describe that wine, I eat the donut. I think they pair beautifully together. Go ahead, Emily.
Absolutely. So I have our Tempranillo and our sweet Tempranillo. I have a dry wine and I have a sweet wine. So whether you want to pair it with something that's way too much sugar and you want to pair something that's just way too dry, here are your options. They're delicious.
Delicious is a great word to describe what is going on here this morning at the farm. Deliciosa Donuts, one of the many food vendors you can check out here. Wooden Shoe, as you see on the label, Wooden Shoe Vineyards, part of the equation. But the biggest news of all, the kickoff of the 40th annual Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival here in Woodburn, today through May the 5th. Emily, any donut you want. They've got the maple bacon, they've got the Oreo, they've got the M&M, but Emily went with, gang, they call this one the Mary Berry. The Mary Berry donut that you can check out with the flowers.
Spring officially arrived earlier this week, and one of the area's biggest springtime events arrives later this morning. I know, I was doing it too.
I love our music. Sometimes you just want to vibe out. We're talking about the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival here at the Wooden Shoe Tulip Farm in Woodburn. Drew Carney is spending his Friday morning there. Drew, it's a big year, 40 years happening.
Yes, 40 years for this festival.
What are you doing?
So China, you weren't, I'm just trying to get as close to the flowers as humanly possible.
See.
And I'm also trying to stay warm because in the last 5 minutes, the temperatures dropped a little bit, the wind started to blow, and the rain started to fall. But I'm not here to complain. I'm here to talk about the beauty that is the Wooden Shoe Tulip Farm and their annual Tulip Festival. So real quickly, let's talk about those details. Starts today, runs through May the 5th. So yes, in one sense, you have plenty of time to check out this year's event. On the other hand, it's pretty popular. One of the biggest events in the state each and every year. So here's the deal. You must buy your tickets in advance. You must get them on the website. You see it right there. It's woodenshoe.com. You need to buy those tickets in advance before you show up at the gate. They don't sell tickets here on the farm. So you've got all that information as I bring in our guest again this morning. She is Emily Iverson, part of the family that has owned and operated this awesome business for decades now. We've got the flowers out here that we wanted to show off, even though it's pitch dark out here still. Sun not even close to rising. We've got the light on there as best we can to show that there is color in the fields. And while we have these live pics to show you, even better, some of those daylight pictures that you guys have posted on your Instagram page. So we'll show those right now as well. As I ask you, Emily, what else will people experience when they come out here to your festival? Because there are things to do beyond just checking out the flowers.
Absolutely. So we have quite a few different tours and classes this year. Some of them are old, like our wine tour and our farm tour that Barb herself, my mom, will be able to guide you around the field and talk about the history that we have.
The legendary Barb Iverson.
The legendary Barb Iverson, yes. But we're also going to have some new classes this year. So we're going to actually have my Uncle Nels is going to be doing some wooden shoe making classes. So you can carve little miniature wooden shoes. And then my cousin Katie is actually doing a flower arranging class. So you can drink wine, make flowers to take home with you, and come see the field itself.
We were really excited to come out here for day one. So it will kick off officially later this morning. In years past, we've sometimes pushed our visit back a week or two because the color isn't just here for day one usually, at least not in the last several years. We have it this year. Can you just kind of go over again when the color showed up, and is there any fear now about keeping it through May 5th?
Yep. So if it's hot, the tulips are not really a fan of hot. They like that cooler temperature, so those 70-degree days really popped our field open. So if we get some pretty low 60-degree temps, we'll last through the end of the season, but if we get another 80, 90-degree day like we did last year, tulips are going to be toast.
Okay, so we like that those warm temperatures to get these tulips up and running, and now we like the things to just kind of cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and peaceful.
One of the biggest annual events anywhere in Oregon returns today and will run every day now through the beginning of May.
These flowers behind us right here, pretty good indicator of what we're talking about. It's the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival in Woodburn. Drew Carney is out there live this morning to tell us all about it. Drew?
People that live around here know it's not every year we get this kind of color this early in the season, but yes, the color is here on March the 22nd, day number one of this year's Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Sitting next to me right now is Emily Iverson, part of the family that owns and operates the farm. Big year for you guys this year, year number 40 for the festival, pretty incredible.
It's crazy.
Let's talk about why we're sitting down in this vehicle if you will. This is an opportunity. You use this for several different events. Can you talk about the wine tours for starters?
Of course. So you get to sit on this. We'll drive you around for an hour, and you get to drink wine. There's no better combination.
And it's your wine that you make here at the farm.
It is all estate grown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also, this is an opportunity for seniors to get around a little more easily here at the farm.
It is. So you would buy your ticket when you get here. It's just a small fee, but it's for people with accessibility issues and seniors to be able to see the field without having to walk.
So something to keep in mind, and we've been trying to impress upon our viewing audience all morning long, you do have to buy your tickets in advance and get those online on the woodenshoe.com website. They've been doing this for years. So you see the information there on your screen. This festival does kick off today. It runs through May the 5th. That's a Sunday. So lots of opportunities in between to check it out. The hours depend on the day of the week. They vary slightly, whether it's weekdays or weekends, and the activities really pick up on the weekends as well. We can actually show some of the pictures. Director Brian, if we haven't shown them already, maybe we can show some of those pictures from the Wooden Shoes Instagram page, because this really shows just how great the color is already during daylight hours. And there are also a lot of activities, more so on the weekends, but even during the week. Can you talk about some of those big activities that everyone likes to see every year?
Well, I'll say hot air balloons. That's really the number one around here. So we'll have Portland Rose balloons doing our tethers this year, Thursday through Sunday, weather permitting, from 9:30 to 4:30. So if you want to see the hot air balloons, come out and get in line, because you can get on one.
You've done the hot air balloon rides for the last few years here. The tether rides is kind of a good introductory deal with your hot air balloons. Not as dangerous as going untethered and going anywhere and everywhere.
Yes, yes.
And so how does that work exactly? Because people ask, does my ticket get me onto a balloon? It's not that easy.
Nope. So it's a first come, first serve. So you have to come early and get in line, and then if again it's weather permitting, no rain, and then just slow wind essentially, and then you can get up on one.
I have to say, we've been covering this event for years. I think it's close to 20 now, gang. I don't think I've ever come out to the farm this early in the season where we don't have a speck of sunlight, not a sliver of sunrise before our show is over. It's been dark all morning, but Eric Patterson, my trusty photographer, has done a great job lighting up these fields as best he can to show off the fact that yes, the big headline during day one of this year's festival, there is color already in the field, so check it out. It's going to be a great week next week for spring break visitors, even if Rod Hill says it may rain a little bit on given days.